Have you ever wondered if your kidneys could be asking for help without causing any pain? For many adults over 60, that's exactly what makes kidney problems so easy to miss. Unlike a broken bone or a bad toothache, your kidneys can slowly lose function for months or even years without sending clear warning signals. By the time obvious symptoms appear, significant damage may already have occurred. But here's the encouraging news. Your body often gives small clues long before a serious problem develops. These signs are easy to overlook because they can seem like normal parts of aging, yet recognizing them early can make a real difference. In many cases, getting evaluated sooner gives you and your healthcare provider more opportunities to identify the cause and take steps to protect your kidney health. Today we're going to explore 7 silent signs your kidneys may be struggling after age 60. Some of these may surprise you because they don't seem connected to your kidneys at all. Be sure to stay until the end because the final sign is one that many people dismiss as just getting older, when it may deserve a closer look. Before we begin, remember that this video is for education only. These signs can have many different causes, and having one or even several of them does not necessarily mean you have kidney disease. If you notice persistent or concerning symptoms, it's important to discuss them with a qualified healthcare professional. Now, let's start with the first silent sign. The first sign is feeling unusually tired all the time. Everyone expects to slow down a little with age. After all, our bodies change over time. But there's a difference between normal aging and feeling exhausted every day, even after a full night's sleep. Your kidneys do much more than remove waste from your body. They also help produce a hormone that tells your bone marrow to make red blood cells. These cells carry oxygen throughout your body. When kidney function declines, your body may produce less of this hormone. As a result, some people develop anemia, a condition where there aren't enough healthy red blood cells to carry oxygen efficiently. Imagine trying to drive a car with only half a tank of fuel. It can still move, but it won't perform at its best. In a similar way, when your body's tissues receive less oxygen, even simple activities can feel exhausting. You might notice that climbing stairs leaves you unusually winded. Grocery shopping suddenly feels like a major task. Even spending time with grandchildren may drain your energy more quickly than it used to. Many people simply assume they're getting older, but persistent fatigue deserves attention, especially if it's new, worsening, or comes with other symptoms. Of course, fatigue has many possible causes, including poor sleep, thyroid problems, depression, certain medications, heart conditions, and nutritional deficiencies. That's why it's important not to jump to conclusions. Instead, think of ongoing fatigue as a signal that your body is asking for a closer look. If you're experiencing this kind of tiredness, your healthcare provider may recommend simple blood tests to check your kidney function, blood count, and other possible causes. And while fatigue is one clue, the next sign often appears in a place most people don't expect: the bathroom. The second silent sign is changes in your urination. Since the kidneys produce urine, it makes sense that changes in bathroom habits can sometimes reflect changes in kidney function. However, not every change is caused by the kidneys. Aging itself, medications, prostate enlargement in men, bladder conditions, diabetes, and drinking more fluids can all affect urination. Still, certain patterns are worth paying attention to. Perhaps you're waking up several times each night to urinate when you never used to. Maybe you're producing much less urine than usual, despite drinking enough water. Some people notice their urine becomes unusually foamy. Others see darker colored urine, or, in some cases, blood. Foamy urine can sometimes happen normally after a fast stream of urine hits the toilet water. But persistent foam that doesn't disappear quickly may indicate protein leaking into the urine. Healthy kidneys usually keep important proteins in the bloodstream. When the kidney filters become damaged, some protein may escape into the urine. Think of your kidneys as millions of tiny coffee filters. Fresh water passes through, while the coffee grounds stay inside. If those filters develop tiny tears, valuable substances that should remain in your blood may begin slipping through. Changes in urination don't automatically mean kidney disease, but they shouldn't be ignored either. Keeping a simple notebook of changes can be surprisingly helpful. Write down how often you're urinating, whether you're waking at night, and any unusual changes in color or appearance. This information can help your healthcare provider understand what's happening. Staying well hydrated is also important for overall kidney health. unless your healthcare provider has advised you to limit fluids because of another medical condition. Now, here's something many people never connect to kidney health. The next sign often appears in your feet and ankles, and many seniors mistakenly blame it on standing too long. The third silent sign is swelling in your feet, ankles, or lower legs. Have you ever taken off your socks at the end of the day and noticed deep marks around your ankles? Or perhaps your shoes suddenly feel tighter, even though your weight hasn't changed much. Many people assume this is simply part of getting older. While mild swelling can happen after standing or sitting for long periods, swelling that becomes frequent, gets worse, or appears without an obvious reason deserves attention. Your kidneys play a vital role in keeping the right balance of salt and water in your body. Healthy kidneys remove extra fluid through urine, but when they aren't working as well as they should, excess fluid can build up in your tissues. Think of your kidneys as the drainage system in your home. When the drains are clear, water flows away smoothly. But if the drain begins to clog, water starts collecting where it shouldn't. In a similar way, reduced kidney function can allow fluid to collect in different parts of the body. You may notice puffiness around your ankles by evening. Your rings may feel tighter than usual. Socks can leave deeper marks on your skin. In some cases, swelling may even spread to the hands or around the eyes, especially in the morning. Of course, kidney problems are not the only possible cause. Heart conditions, liver disease, certain medications, problems with the veins in your legs, and even prolonged sitting during travel can also lead to swelling. That's why it's important to look at the whole picture rather than focusing on one symptom alone. If swelling is persistent, suddenly becomes worse, or is accompanied by shortness of breath, chest pain, or severe discomfort, it's important to seek medical attention promptly. There are also simple habits that may help reduce everyday swelling for some people. Taking short walks throughout the day, avoiding sitting in one position for hours, elevating your legs when resting, and following your healthcare provider's advice about salt intake can all support healthy circulation. However, if swelling continues despite these measures, don't assume it's harmless. And that brings us to a symptom that many people never connect with their kidneys because it appears on the outside of the body rather than the inside. The fourth silent sign is itchy, dry skin that doesn't seem to improve. Dry skin becomes more common as we age, but when itching becomes persistent, widespread, and doesn't respond to moisturizers, it's worth paying attention. Your kidneys do much more than filter waste. They also help maintain the balance of minerals and other substances in your blood. When kidney function declines significantly, waste products and changes in mineral balance may contribute to itchy skin in some people. Imagine forgetting to empty your household trash for weeks. Over time, unwanted waste begins to affect the whole environment. While this isn't exactly how the body works, it helps explain why healthy kidneys are so important. They continuously remove waste products to help keep the body's internal environment balanced. Some people notice intense itching on their arms, back, or legs. Others experience dry, flaky skin that seems unusually difficult to manage. The itching may even become worse at night, making it harder to sleep. However, it's important to remember that itchy skin is extremely common and can result from allergies, eczema, dry weather, diabetes, certain medications, or many other conditions. That's why persistent itching should never be used to diagnose kidney disease on its own. Good daily skincare can still make a difference. Using fragrance-free moisturizers, avoiding very hot showers, staying hydrated if appropriate for your health, and choosing gentle soaps may help keep your skin more comfortable. If itching becomes severe, continues for several weeks, or occurs alongside other symptoms we've discussed, it's a good idea to bring it up during your next medical appointment. Now, the next sign often surprises people because it doesn't seem connected to the kidneys at all. In fact, many adults think it's simply a sign that they're sleeping in an awkward position, but in some cases, it may be your muscles trying to tell you something important. Let's talk about that next. The fifth silent sign is frequent muscle cramps. Have you ever been awakened in the middle of the night by a painful cramp in your calf or foot? If so, you know just how sudden and uncomfortable it can be. An occasional muscle cramp is common, especially after exercise or dehydration. But when cramps become frequent without a clear reason, they deserve a closer look. Healthy kidneys help regulate important minerals in your blood, including potassium, calcium, sodium, and magnesium. These minerals act like tiny electrical signals that help your muscles contract and relax properly. When the balance of these minerals is disrupted, muscles may not work as smoothly as they should. That's one reason some people with kidney problems experience muscle cramps. Still, kidney disease is far from the only possible explanation. Certain medications, dehydration, poor circulation, nerve conditions, and prolonged sitting can all contribute to cramping. If muscle cramps become a regular part of your life, resist the urge to simply ignore them or accept them as a normal part of aging. Instead, pay attention to patterns. Do they happen mostly at night, after physical activity, after starting a new medication? Keeping track of these details can provide useful information for your healthcare provider. Simple lifestyle habits may also help reduce muscle cramps for many people. Staying adequately hydrated if appropriate for your medical condition, engaging in regular gentle stretching, maintaining light physical activity, and discussing any medication side effects with your healthcare provider are all sensible steps. We've now covered 5 signs that are often overlooked. But the final 2 may be even more surprising because they can affect how you think and how you breathe. Symptoms many people would never immediately connect to kidney health. The 6th silent sign is trouble concentrating or feeling mentally foggy. Have you ever walked into a room and forgotten why you were there, or found yourself rereading the same page because it just wouldn't sink in? Occasional forgetfulness happens to everyone, especially during busy or stressful times. But when your thinking feels consistently slower, your concentration becomes noticeably worse, or family members begin commenting that you seem more forgetful than usual. It's worth paying attention. Many people immediately worry about dementia or Alzheimer's disease. While those conditions certainly deserve attention when appropriate, they are not the only possible reasons for changes in thinking. Your brain depends on a steady supply of oxygen, nutrients, and a healthy balance of fluids and minerals to function well. Healthy kidneys help maintain that balance by filtering waste products and regulating important minerals in the bloodstream. When kidney function becomes significantly reduced, waste products can gradually build up in the blood. This can sometimes affect how clearly a person thinks, making it harder to focus, remember information, or stay mentally alert. Think of it like trying to watch your favorite television program through a foggy window. The picture is still there, but it isn't as clear as it should be. In a similar way, your brain may not perform at its best when your body's internal balance is disrupted. Of course, brain fog has many possible causes: poor sleep, dehydration, certain medications, vitamin deficiencies, depression, anxiety, thyroid problems, and even untreated hearing loss can all affect concentration. That's why it's so important not to assume the cause or to ignore the symptom. If you notice ongoing changes in memory or thinking, especially if they interfere with daily life, speak with your healthcare provider. A careful evaluation can help identify possible causes, many of which are treatable. Supporting brain health also supports your overall well-being. Staying physically active, getting enough sleep, eating a balanced diet, controlling blood pressure and blood sugar, and staying socially engaged all contribute to healthy aging. Now, we're down to our final silent sign. This one often catches people completely off guard because it can feel like a problem with the lungs or the heart. But in some cases, your kidneys may also play a role. The 7th silent sign is unexplained shortness of breath. If you've ever climbed a flight of stairs and found yourself more winded than usual, you might blame your age or a lack of exercise. Sometimes that's true, but when shortness of breath appears suddenly, becomes progressively worse, or happens during activities that never used to be difficult, it deserves medical attention. There are several reasons this can happen. As we discussed earlier, reduced kidney function may contribute to anemia in some people. With fewer healthy red blood cells carrying oxygen, your body has to work harder during everyday activities. In more advanced kidney disease, excess fluid may also build up in the body. In some cases, that fluid can affect the lungs, making breathing more difficult. However, it's very important to remember that shortness of breath is commonly caused by heart disease, lung disease, infections, asthma, blood clots, and many other medical conditions. Because some of these conditions can be serious, this symptom should never be ignored. If you experience sudden severe shortness of breath, chest pain, fainting, or difficulty breathing at rest, seek emergency medical care immediately. For milder but persistent symptoms, schedule an appointment with your healthcare provider as soon as possible. They may recommend blood tests, urine tests, imaging, or other evaluations to determine what's causing your symptoms. Now that we've covered all 7 silent signs, let's talk about something even more important: what you can do to help protect your kidneys as you grow older. The good news is that many of the same habits that support your heart and brain also help your kidneys. Start by keeping your blood pressure under control. High blood pressure is one of the leading causes of kidney disease, and kidney disease can also make blood pressure harder to manage. That's why regular monitoring is so valuable. If you have diabetes, work with your healthcare team to keep your blood sugar within the target range they recommend. Over time, high blood sugar can damage the tiny filtering units inside the kidneys. Stay physically active in ways that fit your abilities. Even a daily walk, gentle strength exercises, or chair exercises can support circulation, blood pressure, and overall health. Choose a balanced eating pattern that includes plenty of vegetables, fruits, whole grains, lean protein, and healthy fats, unless your healthcare provider has recommended a special diet for your kidney condition or another medical issue. Drink enough fluids for your individual needs. While many people benefit from staying well hydrated, some medical conditions, such as advanced kidney disease or heart failure, require fluid restrictions. Always follow the advice that's right for you. Be cautious with over-the-counter pain medicines. Using certain medications, especially non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like ibuprofen or naproxen, too often or at high doses may affect kidney health in some people. If you rely on these medications regularly, ask your healthcare provider whether they are appropriate for you. Don't smoke if you can avoid it. And if you do smoke, consider talking with your healthcare team about quitting. Smoking affects blood vessels throughout the body, including those that supply the kidneys. Finally, don't skip your regular checkups. Simple blood and urine tests can often detect changes in kidney function long before symptoms become obvious. Early detection gives you and your healthcare team more options to slow progression and protect your health. Let's quickly review the 7 silent signs we discussed today. Persistent fatigue that doesn't improve with rest. Changes in urination, including frequent nighttime trips, foamy urine, or noticeable changes in amount or color. Swelling in the feet, ankles, hands, or around the eyes. Persistent itchy or unusually dry skin. Frequent muscle cramps without an obvious cause. Trouble concentrating or ongoing brain fog. And unexplained shortness of breath. Remember, none of these signs automatically mean you have kidney disease. Many common health conditions can cause similar symptoms. But when symptoms are persistent, worsening, or occurring together, they deserve a conversation with a qualified healthcare professional. Your kidneys work quietly every minute of every day, filtering your blood, balancing fluids, supporting healthy blood pressure, and helping your entire body function properly. Taking care of them is one of the best investments you can make in your long-term health and independence. If you found this video helpful, we'd love to hear from you. Which of these 7 signs surprised you the most? Have you ever experienced any of them, or learned something new today? And as always, tell us your age and where you're watching from. It's inspiring to see our healthy aging community growing around the world, and your experiences may encourage someone else to take an important step toward better health. Thank you so much for watching, take good care of yourself, and we'll see you in the next video.